It's Grandmasters Elite_UK, a place to look deeper into rugby, tactics, identity, and the philosophy of winning. If you love rugby and enjoy analytical perspectives, subscribe to the channel.
The idea that made me think the most is John Kirwan's remark that Rennie could bring back the New Zealand style. At first glance, the statement sounds simple, but the more I reflect on it, the more meaning I find in it. To me, this is a story about choosing between philosophy, experience, and identity, elements that always exist together in every great sporting culture. It often reflects something deeper: identity, the way people think about winning, and the belief a sporting nation has in the path it wants to follow in the future. When a team tries to rediscover itself, the All Blacks have long been seen as a symbol of world rugby. Not only because they win often, but because of how they win. For decades, the team has been famous for a style of play that is fast, creative, powerful, and intelligent. It's the kind of rugby that fans don't just watch for the result, they watch to enjoy the spectacle. But in sport, nothing is permanent. When a great team goes through periods of change, the biggest question is often not whether they win or lose. The bigger question is, are they still themselves? I think this is the context that makes the appointment of Dave Rennie particularly interesting. Even though Scott Robertson kept the team high in the rankings, many people felt the team's style no longer created the familiar feeling it once did. Sometimes a team is still strong, but fans feel that something is missing, something difficult to define. Perhaps that something is identity.
A decision that was not easy. From what I understand, the race for the head coach position did not involve just one candidate. Jamie Joseph was also considered a very strong contender. What made me think deeply here is the way people involved described the selection process. John Kirwan emphasized that Rennie's experience may have been the deciding factor. That makes complete sense when we consider the pressure faced by an All Blacks head coach. Coaching a national team is already difficult, but coaching the All Blacks is far more demanding. There, winning is not the only expectation. People also expect a style of play that reflects the pride of an entire nation. That is why experience in handling pressure at major teams can become an important factor. This also reflects a reality in sport. Sometimes the choice is not about who is absolutely better, but about who is more suitable for the moment. The Tony Brown factor and the unseen details. One detail that particularly caught my attention is the story involving Tony Brown. According to Kirwan's analysis, if Brown had been able to leave the South African team, many might have seen a very strong coaching partnership between Jamie Joseph and Brown. But in sport, decisions are sometimes influenced by factors that fans cannot see. When South Africa retained Brown, the situation may have changed entirely. It reminds me of something interesting. Major decisions in sport are sometimes shaped by very small details. One person stays, another leaves, and an entire national strategy can shift.
Dave Rennie's philosophy. What gives many people hope about Rennie is his rugby philosophy. Based on what has been shared, Rennie does not simply follow whatever tactical trend is popular at the moment. Instead, he wants to build a style of play that reflects the true spirit of New Zealand rugby, that includes a powerful forward pack, dominance in physical contests, players who compete with intensity, a relentless fighting spirit. But the most important thing, as I see it, is that he wants the team to play in a way that New Zealanders can instantly recognize. It's not imitation, it's identity. Why identity matters. In modern sport, tactics have become increasingly complex. Teams study each other in great detail. Many teams succeed by adopting whatever strategy is currently most effective in the world. But if everyone plays the same way, what makes a team truly special? The answer is identity. Fans do not just want victory. They want victory in a way that makes them feel proud. A team can win with a pragmatic style, but if that style does not reflect the spirit of the nation or community they represent, the emotional connection with fans will never feel complete. I believe this is what John Kirwan meant when he spoke about the New Zealand style.
The pressure of a major goal. Dave Rennie has been entrusted with leading the team through to the Rugby World Cup. That means one very clear mission: turning the team into a genuine contender for the Webb Ellis Cup. This will not be easy. In modern rugby, the gap between top teams is becoming smaller and smaller. Teams like South Africa and France are extremely strong. Sometimes even the world rankings do not fully reflect a team's real strength. That means Rennie will need to do more than just improve tactics. He will need to rebuild belief. One thing that made me feel positive What impressed me most about this story is not who was chosen or who was passed over. What I find encouraging is that the people involved reportedly spoke with each other respectfully throughout the process. In sport, competition is inevitable, but the way people treat each other after major decisions reveals the true values of a sporting culture. If the candidates can still speak openly with one another, that shows a mature sporting environment. The lesson I take for myself. Reflecting on this story, I realize there are many valuable lessons. The first is about preparation. In the race for a major role, no one knows the outcome in advance. But what each person can do is prepare as well as possible for the opportunity. Jamie Joseph may not have been chosen this time, but that does not diminish his value. Life is similar. Not every effort brings immediate results, but every attempt helps us grow.
A lesson for fans. As fans, we sometimes judge decisions based purely on emotion. We might favor one coach and feel disappointed when they are not selected. But this story reminds me that major decisions are often far more complex than they appear. There are many factors behind them: experience, long-term strategy, support staff, and even external circumstances. Understanding that can help us view sport with greater calm and fairness. A lesson for communities. This story also carries a broader message. In any organization, from sport to business to education, choosing a leader is always an important decision. But equally important is the system built around that leader. A great coach needs a great team. A strong team needs a strong cultural foundation. And a thriving community needs shared values that everyone respects. Hope for the future. I don't know exactly how successful Dave Rennie will be with the All Blacks. In sport, no one can guarantee results. But what gives me hope is the idea of rediscovering identity. When a team clearly understands who they are and how they want to play, they have a stronger foundation for growth. Victory then becomes not only a result of tactics, but also the product of shared belief. Looking back at the entire story, I see that it is not simply about appointing a new coach. It is a story about identity in sport, the role of experience, the complexity of major decisions, and the belief in one's own path.
For me personally, it is a reminder that in any field, success is not just about chasing trends. What matters is understanding your core values and building from them. For fans, it reminds us that sport is not only about winning or losing. It is also about people, choices, and the values a team represents. And for communities, it reminds us that important decisions require careful thought, mutual respect, and long-term vision. If Dave Rennie truly can help the All Blacks rediscover their distinctive style, the success will not only be measured in trophies, it will also be felt in the moment when fans watch their team walk onto the field and feel that they are witnessing a side that is not only strong, but also faithful to its own identity.
Thank you for following Scrum Masters Elite_UK. I hope today's story about rugby identity and philosophy has given you a fresh perspective. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with us.